Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a Southwest Virginia community gathers to watch a beloved police officer take one last patrol. And the governor calls on Kentuckians to get vaccinated ahead of Thanksgiving celebrations across the Commonwealth.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Chas Gayhart. It is 4:59 on Friday, November 19th. Let's go over and check in with Brandon on a cold Friday morning.
It is a little bit chilly out there this morning, Chas. So you and I actually got here about the same time this morning. We were rushing to get in the door because it was chilly. Also very foggy here in Hazard this morning. So if you're in the Hazard area, unfortunately, like our morning producer wanted to see that eclipse overnight, not so lucky. I got a chance to get a look at it though over in Knott County, and it was spectacular. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. Let's say what's going on this morning. And again, even though the Hazard Airport's showing, oh, it's full visibility, it's up on the mountain. Down here in the valley, not so much. Harlan seeing some fog issues, so is Middlesboro. So just continue to be careful out there this morning. Temperatures, 20s and 30s. Of course, those 30s on the ridges. Most of the valleys there in the 20s there, mid to upper 20s in a lot of spots this morning. 23 in Jonesville and Monticello are cool spots as you head out the door. So a little extra to max warming needed on that coffee meter this morning. We're going to continue to kind of keep an eye on things and see how everything plays out. But I'm telling you later today, even with full-on sunshine, it's not going to get that warm. Out the door forecast, we are going to see 44, a daytime high early this afternoon before those temperatures start heading back down again. Jess?
Thanks, Brandon. A Big Stone Gap police officer, Michael Chandler, was shot and killed in the line of duty Saturday, and his community gathered yesterday to watch as he took his final patrol. The 29-year-old husband and father is remembered for his service and dedication to community, something those who gathered yesterday say they will never forget. Hundreds lined the streets to wave flags and say goodbye, praying for peace as agencies from around the region joined to escort him to his final resting place.
We're praying for you now. We will continue to pray for you, and we pray that justice is done for her husband.
Wise County Commonwealth's attorney Chuck Slimp announced a donation from Ballot Health, which will fund body cameras for Big Stone Gap Police Department in the wake of Officer Chandler's death. The Commonwealth is seeing a concerning increase in overdose deaths. As we told you earlier this week, a CDC report shows Kentucky had more than 54% increase in deaths from April 2020 to April 2021. It puts the state third for the most deaths in a 12-month period. One Central Kentucky Fire Department is hoping to prevent future overdose deaths. The Richmond Fire Chief says they will begin carrying Narcan.
It's something that you're glad to have if you need it. Obviously, if one of us get exposed to it, we'll have it there for ourselves.
The Richmond Fire and Police Departments plan to have the Narcan available by January 1st of next year. So far, more than 23,000 children in Kentucky have received a COVID vaccination. That age group has only been eligible for the vaccine in the last week. That's 6% of the population for that age group. UK Healthcare has given out more than 1,000 of those at its pediatric clinic. Officials are hoping to give out more ahead of the holidays. However, doctors understand that some parents may be hesitant.
I think there's been a lot of information out there that is not scientifically accurate. And I think it can be confusing for parents to know what to believe, what thing is backed by science and what isn't. I think that I can tell you is this vaccine is safe and effective.
UK officials say appointments are still available this week. Governor Andy Beshear urged Kentuckians to get their booster shot ahead of Thanksgiving next week. The Team Kentucky website says the Commonwealth saw 1,855 new cases of COVID-19 Thursday, but also, as of yesterday, more than 446,000 Kentuckians have received their booster shot ahead of the holiday, something the governor strongly encourages people to do as soon as possible.
Get it before Thanksgiving. Make sure that when you sit down at that Thanksgiving table with the people you love, you have the highest level of immunity to protect them. Also, if you got kids like mine, 5 to 11, at least get them that first shot before Thanksgiving.
Those looking to get a booster can do so by contacting their local health care provider. Governor Andy Beshear announced funding for 3 eastern Kentucky counties still dealing with flood damage. Johnson, Morgan, and Lawrence counties were among the hardest hit areas by March's historic flooding. Yesterday, Governor Beshear awarded those counties more than $1.1 million combined to help make necessary repairs.
A large part of this is all of our desire to be more resilient, to work towards a future where even these biggest weather incidents don't disrupt our lives in the same way and don't cause the devastation that we have seen.
Governor Beshear also said the funds were required to secure flood control funding awards from FEMA. The state's Ethics Commission says Allison Lundergan Grimes improperly used her office for personal and political purposes while she served as Secretary of State. The Lexington Herald-Leader reports she is accused of two ethics code violations. The first claims she directed her employees to download voter registration information through back channels for a personal purpose. The second claims she used her position to create lists of registered Democrats in the state and gave those lists to Democratic candidates at no cost. Grimes has not commented. Kentucky's Attorney General is helping lead an investigation into Instagram. Attorney General Daniel Cameron made the announcement yesterday. The investigation is into Instagram's parent company, Meta Platforms. It also owns Facebook. This comes after a report on internal research showing that using Instagram had a negative impact on young people's physical and mental health. 7 other attorneys general are looking into consumer protection law violations. And more Kentucky voters are registering as Republicans. The State Board of Elections says the GOP has grown by more than 113,000 people since Governor Beshear's inauguration. Meanwhile, Kentucky's Democratic Party is down by more than 44,000 voters. Despite the shift, more Democrats are still registered to vote in Kentucky overall. Thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. When we come back, one lucky astronaut is set to make history on board the International Space Station.
And grab those jackets on the way out the door this morning. You will definitely need them, maybe all day long. I'll have your weekend forecast in about 3 minutes.